Has the Indian government earned the Vishwas of business owners? Is it going to ease business? And will these reforms accelerate entrepreneurship in India? Will it create jobs in the process? Will such reforms have a tangible effect on Indian growth? Let's find out. Rishi Agrawal has definite views about this. Rishi, of course, co-founder and CEO of Team Lease, is joining us along with Sanjay Hegde, who's a senior advocate at the Supreme Court. Gentlemen, both, thank you very much for making the time to be with us on India Tonight. Rishi Agrawal, coming to you first. I know you believe that our current business laws are inherently hostile and the need is to decriminalize and help ease do business in India. Do you think the Jan Vishwas bill that decriminalizes as many as 183 minor offences under 42 union acts? They pertain to forests, they pertain to drugs and cosmetics, to food safety, to money laundering. Do you think this bill can achieve this need to ease doing business in India?
As they say, well begun is half done. Will this move the needle significantly in its current avatar? The answer is no, because there are 26,134 items in Indian laws which can put an entrepreneur behind bars, among the 69,233 unique compliances. So among them, the bill moves the needle on 180 plus items. It's a small start, but the bill certainly lays the framework for examining criminality and jail term as a vehicle, as a lever of control that the government has utilized in the past. Most of these laws are colonial in nature. They were written at a time when India had just become independent and there was hardly any contribution of the private sector in job creation and economic development. In the last 75 years, the country has come a long way. The priorities have changed, the challenges have changed, the vehicles of growth have changed, and these laws have probably frozen in time. They've stayed frozen for a long time, and time has come to reform them. So I'm going to take a larger view here. There are 1,536 different acts and rules that govern doing business in India. Embedded in them are about 26,134 items that can send an entrepreneur to jail. You examine some of these, at least 35 to 40% of them are extremely trivial. Failing to keep the whitewash record of an inner wall of a toilet, sending an entrepreneur to a 3 years imprisonment, failing to create a canteen committee, renew it every 2 years, sending them to prison. A lot of these laws were written with deep distrust, entrenched hostility, and imprisonment as a lever to send an entrepreneur to jail. Today, things have changed. The 21st century Indian entrepreneur needs to be a little more liberated than they have been in the past. Nobody has made the case that compliances should not be there or imprisonment clauses should not be there, but we need to differentiate between areas where theft has been committed, exploitation has been committed, damage to environment has been done, among others, and trivial procedural lapses and non-compliances, which has been used by the Inspector Raj, which has outlived its welcome in the 21st century now.
One part of that debate is the importance of a universal enterprise number. That kind of reform applying to businesses, I'd imagine it works just like a DigiLocker does. At least it would hope to, where you can put all your government licenses and registrations, permissions, consent orders, all the statutory certificates of all kinds under that. How do you think that is going to ease up doing business for entrepreneurs, Rishi?
So today there are about 23 different identities of an enterprise.
Yes.
You have a different PF number, ESI number, professional tax number, labor welfare fund number, GST number, PAN number, TAN number, and I can rattle off another 10, 15 of these identities. There is no consolidated view of the risk that an enterprise poses to the country or to employees and other stakeholders. We don't have a consolidated view of risk. We have no idea which of these employers have demonstrated good behavior, which ones have failed to demonstrate good behavior. We can't prioritize our inspections based on their past risk behavior. Now imagine banks giving credit today without having a credit rating for an individual. We would live in a world full of disaster where banks would not know whom they have lent and whether to expect that money back. That's the same situation we need to create with digital technologies for entrepreneurs. Today, we need a mechanism where there is a universal enterprise number, a unique number, against which the compliance profile, the risk profile of an organization can be established. Against that risk identity, you can decide how many times can they be inspected, who should inspect, whether they should be given certain amount of leeway, how frequently they should be inspected based on their risk level. All of these are important items. The second thing here is 1991 saw the first wave of reforms where the country got rid of the license Raj. 30 years later, in 2023, we still have Inspector Raj live and kicking. An inspector can show up at any point in time in any company, ask for any documentation. The need for presenceless, faceless, and cashless ecosystem is stronger than ever. We need to make the inspectors accountable. Just like we need to make an entrepreneur accountable, we need to make an inspector accountable. And until we create this presencelessness and facelessness to our compliance system, where there is a clear digital record and a footprint of a company's regulatory compliance in the past, some of these problems are not going to go away. They are going to persist, and they are going to shackle our entrepreneurs from creating more and more jobs in the economy.
We'll keep tracking that. Rishi Agrawal, Sanjay Hegde, many thanks for joining us with your perspectives on this edition of India Tonight.